And now Amy's brother, Dan. Dan Bernard. Give Dan a big hand.
I just wanted to thank everyone for opening for me. Also for all the very beautiful, true, and sweet things you said about my sister. So essentially, you've hacked the first 2 pages of my material. But I'm sorry for my voice. I got sick shortly before flying out here from New Hampshire. This whole experience has been pretty upsetting. But one thing my sister always taught me was to keep it together and to make the best of every situation. So I'll do the best I can. Like my brother, I just kind of wrote this on the couch of the hotel this morning. So here we go. Well, first of all, Dave, a piece of history you had incorrect. Since we were children, our mother, Harriet, was also in the travel business. She books guilt trips. Anyway, it seems impossible to capsulize and summarize the life of someone as colorful, warm, and with such a generous personality as Amy. It really seems impossible I'd be standing here tonight speaking of such a thing. My mother and I were just saying this seems really surreal, which is kind of contradictory, but you know what I mean. Anyone who knows her knows that Amy was one of the most life-loving, vibrant, in-the-moment people you could ever have the pleasure to know. Yet with a heavy dose of practicality and earthy good sense, Amy was someone I could always turn to, whatever inane situation I got myself into. Heartbreak, money problems, confusion about the meaning of life, and get a no bullshit answer. Amy was every bit a pragmatic, no bullshit girl, but a true hippie at heart. This became evident first in the late 60s and early 70s. Her copy of the White Album kept this 6th grader pretty transfixed. While she definitely dropped out, turned on and tuned in, she always kept her powder dry, had a couple of jobs going to pay the bills, optimistic attitude, always plenty of time to eat well, explore dozens of new places, see nature, hear great live music, and always had a creative backup plan in her back pocket, right next to the licorice-flavored rolling papers. Yes, that black, sticky flavor, it's burned into my memory. Like the vaguely frightening but exciting first joint my Amy initiated me into at the tender age of 14. And she was 16. And of course, my brother explained his post-bar mitzvah recovery experience as well. So she introduced me to a lot of great vinyl, to the book Be Here Now, Paisley wall hangings, and trippy experiences. And all I needed was a little sci-fi, prog rock, and acid to complete my picture. But I credit Amy with making me aware of so much really meaningful things. Does anyone have any papers? However, I found some old letters. I saved letters from the people that I love, and there's this from 1978 when she was working at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. There's not much going on here. The bar's been busy because half of Canada seems to have relocated, at least for this week. What a bunch of cheap assholes. They're really rude. And in 1979, what did you do for Halloween? I spent the Saturday before working at the Cowboy as Mae West. Then to the Calico Ramada party, We ate mushrooms and had a wild and crazy time. One thing Amy always had that my brother and I both agree on is an ability to love life on its own terms, make the best out of every situation, savor the pleasure each experience offers, and I realize I'm just restating what all of you have said. I can't think of a single time she was recounting some small pleasure in detail that she'd experienced just the day or night before. This is what made her such a great travel consultant. She just experienced the world fully, wanted to share it with everybody, whether you were playing a weekend in Omaha at some toilet or a full month tour of Europe for pleasure. She had a wise moment-to-moment appreciation of the good things of life. She was, I've been reflecting on her a lot since all of this has occurred, and I really had to search my memory, and I couldn't find a time when my sister was vain, greedy. I couldn't think of a single person I know of that she ever deliberately hurt or backstabbed or manipulated, and that's pretty damn rare. My sister, to me, is a wise, vibrant, vital human being with a huge heart, persevering spirit, a battling soul, and a BS detector that not much got past. I miss her so very badly. Anyway, you heard some talk about the singer, my daughter Davin, who Amy booked Davin's band on their recent tour of Eastern Europe and Russia, where they were there for 6 weeks. Their drummer quit at the last minute. Who found them a drummer? Within 24 hours, he was on a plane to Russia. Where did he work? The Ice House. Only Amy. Now, my daughter Davin is a very diverse person. She's an activist, she's a writer, she's an artist, she's a poet. She's, front woman for a vegan, straight edge, hardcore band. And she had a message that she wanted to share, and I will close with that. I want to let you know how incredibly sorry I am about Aunt Amy. I never knew her as well as I wanted to, but she was a very big inspiration to me throughout my life. I always admired her for being independent, well-spoken, well-traveled, and motivated. She was as an example for me of an alternative to what a woman could be, someone undeniably feminine, but not just hitting one note with it, but rather being a diverse and interesting person. She never knew it, but I always saw myself in her when I was a kid. And as I got older, she was always in my mind as the kind of person I would like to be. I was so happy that traveling as I have gave me an excuse to know her a little better. She was just a very, very cool lady. It hurts me to know I won't be able to find out more about her. I had so many questions to ask, but I understand when it's time to move on, it's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. With a big hand for Dan. Thank you very much, Dan.